All right. It's Jared here from Crypto Plan. What does ZINWALD Lithium and Tesla have in common? Well, let's just do a little bit of investigationing. This could be big. Alrighty then, let's get straight down to business. You're going to have to excuse my sore throat. It's a little bit scratchy today, but I'll try and get through this fairly quickly. So yeah, I'm, like I say, people that watch my channel, I'm not a fundamental guy, but the charts do tell you a story. And I think they tell a story slightly before, the fundamental news comes out, because the fundamental news is being developed behind the scenes before the news tells the story, right? So we're on a Zinwa Lithium chart, and what I do know is that this is a beautiful chart, as in, early, we're on a weekly chart, the 30-week moving average, breakout kind of setup that I've got. I noticed this come across my trading app as a big mover for the day, so I put it on my radar, and now it's on my breakout kind of chart. And I am invested in this, so full transparency, and everything in this is speculation, and I have everything supported by stop losses. So every investment I'm making, I'm willing to lose a certain amount of it. So please take your own risks and manage your own risks, because this is definitely not financial advice. This is a completely speculative exercise to try and, predict the future, that there will be some news surrounding, maybe Tesla or maybe another one of the big car companies, that there'll be an offtake agreement between ZINWALD Lithium and one of these bigger car companies. So just bear with me, and let's just have a bit of fun with this, right? So ZINWALD Lithium chart, where let's grab our pen, so there is no 30-week moving average there because there's not enough data, but, essentially it's kind of been hovering around a base, so there's been a high and a low and a high and a low and a high and a low, and it's kind of been tightening in there, and then it pops off, right? So that's our classic pattern before a breakout, is that price kind of grinds into a corner in some kind of a triangle pattern, or even if it's just a parallel base, that's fine, in and around a 30-week moving average. So it's kind of testing that 30-week moving average, dip below it, and then kind of broken out of it. Down here, we've got massive volume, like 2x to 3x volume over the last couple of weeks. So huge. And then also what we want to see is like decreasing volume on a slight pullback after the price action comes up. So these are our kind of, today's the kind of get in time. If you're just purely chart trading, it's kind of ran for 2 weeks, you see what happens. Yeah, it pulls back a little bit, probably a good time to get in, but the price hasn't pulled back. So this could be one of those super duper trades, because a lot of the time these things pop out above the 30-week moving average, and they pull back and retest it, and it gives you that nice entry point. But those ones in particular aren't always the best runners, but the fact that this one's ran quite high, pulled back a little bit, and then, on low volume, and then, potentially there's lots of legging up to go, right? So that's where we're at in the chart. We're looking to see what happens. Like I say, I have a stop loss somewhere around here. 18.5 is kind of my load the truck moment. So that I was originally hoping for it to pull back to the base breakout, but I can't see that happening at the moment. So I've kind of got this halfway marker here, this 18.5 pence, where I'd probably back up the truck and get a little bit more. But I'm nibbling away on any weakness at the moment, or sideways movement at the moment that is happening. So, but ideally, if I had my time again, I probably would have just nibbled in on this breakout, seen what happened, and then bought again on the pullback. But that's history. So now let's go over to some of these fundamentals, right? So, geez, and I'm having to pause here every time to take a little sip because my throat is so dry. ZINWALD Lithium, advanced integrated low capex high margin lithium project. So straight away you're like, low capex high margin lithium project, great. This is what the EV market needs. This is what the battery market needs. So I think we've been through the EV boom where all the car companies are having this money flow in and out. And now I think people are realizing that probably the real investment opportunity is in the batteries, or in the materials that make the cars, right? So batteries lithium is one of those elements that are in there, right? So it's a lithium project, low expense to make, high margin. So that's important when it comes to mining. You don't want to put a lot of money in to get a little bit of money out. You want to put a little bit of money in to get a lot of money out, right? So that's what they're telling us. Do we believe them or not? Well, the market's telling us that people are investing in the company, so maybe it's true. We can scroll down here, we see, it's all about lithium, batteries, cars. But here's something that I've noticed is that they've got their Twitter posts here. So this is not like news from outside sources. This is news from them. And, you've got 9 hours ago, 1st of July. But this 29th of July here, having topped ZINWALD's holdings in late-stage German lithium project to 100%, we're positioned to supply the flurry of new gigafactories, ... Now, ... gigafactory. So let's have a think. Who's got gigafactories in Germany? Tesla's got a gigafactory being built in Berlin. Right. Okay, so they are one company we know of. Maybe there's more. I don't really know. I know that, BMWs are made in Germany. They're definitely going to be going into EV at some point. And there's probably many of other German manufacturers and maybe even, Asian manufacturers or other, car manufacturers that are going to go into Germany because Germans make good cars, right? So they're kind of saying there, are they ... dotting saying we've already got, we're in discussions or we're just waiting for someone to come to us. So there's a little bit of, kind of reading between the lines there. And like I say, this is pure speculation. But how many gigafactories are there in Germany at the moment and near ZINWALD's lithium project, right? So let's go over to where the project is. So location, it's about 35 kilometers from Dresden in the heart of Europe. The European chemical and automotive industries on the border with the Czech Republic and historical granite host, blah, 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 blah. So it's in a region which is pretty close to a major city, which is Dresden, and European chemical and automotive industry. So it's very close to areas where it can be turned into the product that it needs to be turned into. Now, I'm not huge on all the chemical stuff, so you can go and read all your feasibility studies and how good the deposit is and blah, 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 blah. But, that's for the nerds in the space. I'm solely based on that there's a big spike in volume. A lot of people investing in it. Do they have insider information? Have they read all this information? Are they putting these dots together, or do they know something more? Is there a big announcement or big news to come? So we've got Dresden there, got Berlin up there, 150 kilometers, and we've got our red dot here, which is the extraction license field in ZINWALD, right? So we're 35 kilometers from Dresden, and then we're 150 kilometers to Berlin. So let's just go over to Google Maps, and then we've got our Tesla Gigafactory right up there, 2 hours and 4 minutes by car from Dresden. So we get our product dug out of the ground here, we take it to Dresden maybe and turn it into a product that then gets offshooted to Tesla's Gigafactory in Berlin, maybe. Once again, pure speculation, but just trying to, maybe foresee the future that there is some news coming out about this company, ZINWALD Lithium, ... Gigafactory ... price action has been massive. Going back to the chart, like these sort of events don't happen on a chart unless there's something, it's not insider information, but there's people that know enough about the inside of the information to make sense of it, if you know what I mean. So if Tesla is publicly stating that they're looking for an offtake agreement in the area for their Gigafactory in Berlin, then there's probably only going to be a couple of decent candidates for that, right? So maybe ZINWALD's just one of them. Maybe people are just speculating that they will be one of them. But at the end of the day, whether they do or don't get the Tesla contract or another big car manufacturing contract, they are positioned in an area that is probably going to require a lot of their product. And if anyone knows anything about markets and economies, is that, if you build it, they will come. You know what I'm saying? And if you have something that the people want or the businesses want, and you're close and you're cheap, and you're competitive compared to the rest of the suppliers in the world, then you're probably going to get some kind of buyers come in, and some kind of buyers come in on scale. So watch this space. I believe that what happens next in the next few weeks is we see some of these news announcements. The price probably spikes, and it'll be a sell the news event. So this is like buy the rumor, sell the news event somewhere up in the 50, 60 pence region, and then it will just kind of consolidate. And I'm going to just show you what I mean by that. So we're on the Premier African Minerals chart now, and all the way back down here when I did see something happening and there was a volume kind of event happening. So there's a bit of volume spike here, and turn these stuff off again. But yeah, there's a bit of a volume spike, price ran up, pulled back, ran up again. And I remember kind of going, well, I like the chart movement and I'm going to invest here because it's a breakout, right? So I like breakouts. Buy down here, ride it as long as it goes, or whatever you want to do. But then I kept looking at the news, and I'm like, there's no news going on about this company. There's no news except that they're saying, oh, whatever news, they weren't saying we're denying the news or the rumors, but they were saying there's rumors about us getting this license or this, mining license, but we know nothing of that, But the market knew, right? So the market price that in. Maybe they pull back on the speculation not being real, on this is not news yet thing, and then people kind of the people that did know the news or knew that the news might come out invested in again. It wasn't until the very tippy top here, if we go to the daily, it was actually on the 23rd of June that the news, it was actually on the 12th of March that the news was officially released by Premier African Minerals that they had this license, or this mining license, to explore this region which has a large lithium deposit, right? So I'm just going to go and find that press release and just show you, that from the 17th of February there was all this market speculation and price action and volume, all the way up to the point where the news was dropped and then it was sold, right? And it hasn't sold back to anywhere near this base here, but it sold back quite a bit. And now it's in that kind of, we've got this news, we know what we're doing with it. Now we're just waiting for the next news of the actual results of the exploration, right? Which could take a while. So let's go and find that press release. And here it is. So dated the 12th of March 2021, Premier African Minerals is pleased to announce the formal grant of an exclusive prospecting order. So the reality was that, this was the press release date. I guess when the government of Zimbabwe and Premier African Minerals could officially and legally say that there was this exclusive exploration grant license being ordered. But before that, I guess the red tape was still happening before that it was official. And, there's obviously people know on the inside that it's official. And if that information gets out into the market, and all it takes is one person that knows it on the inside to tell another person. And, eventually it's not insider trading because it's fourth or fifth hand rumor information, and the market reacts to that, right? So that is the reality that, on the let's say the 18th of Feb, the price broke out from a long base, and on the 15th of March, the 12th of March, price peaked based on the news. So buy the rumor, sell the news, right? So is that going to happen with ZINWALD? We will only be able to find out in the future. But wait and see, watch this space, and, long base, big breakout, pull back again, maybe big further breakout. We're going to see some news in, late July, early August saying, and Zinwa Lithium has just signed an offtake agreement with BMW or Tesla or whoever, So We'll see, we'll see. But like, I think the moral of this story is that charts tell you that there's news going to be happen soon, and there is definitely an element of buy the rumor and sell the news, and you have to be risk tolerant to be able to do that sort of thing. But the charts give us that, speculation, 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 breakout. It's a little bit more than speculation. Once big investment comes in, institutionals come in, like large volume, it's a bit more than speculation. It's starting to get to like insider trading, or outsiders that have got inside information in whatever way, shape or form, and they're willing to hedge that bet or make that bet. So, and the strength of this breakout has been so strong, and it hasn't pulled back to this base yet. Tells me that there is something special possibly going on with this one. So I am going to let it ride and enjoy the ride. So I hope you've liked this one. A little bit of fundamentals, a little bit of speculation with the charts there. And yeah, if you like it, please like the video. And hopefully I can do some more of this for you. I've been Jared. This has been Crypto Plan, and catch you on the next one. Bye now.